Hello students, welcome to all of you. We are going to commence a new topic, that is periodic properties of elements, in the same chapter, that is classification of elements. Before this point, we have already studied in detail about that is the elements which are present in different blocks. Just by talking about the elements of S block, elements of P block, D block and F block, and what were the important properties of these block elements. So I think you have properly remembered these points, and one thing I want to tell that must remember all the elements which are present in modern periodic table. So that will be more better for you to learn the elements which are present in long form of the periodic table, or also you are knowing that is called modulus periodic table containing 118 elements. So at least 100 element must remember. That will be more better for you. So come on the topic, that is periodic properties of elements. What is the meaning of this point, and what things we have to study in this very point? Listen sincerely. Periodic properties of elements means, as we are knowing that the properties of the elements are directly or indirectly related to the electronic configuration of the elements, and they show the gradation or change in moving down a group or along a period. Okay, some common physical property of the elements, as you are knowing, that is their physical state, that is their color, their order, their solubility, their density, their melting and boiling point. But in this section we have to study, children, that physical properties of elements which are closely related to the electronic configuration of the elements. Alright, so those properties, physical properties which are related to the electronic configuration of the elements are followings. So first property is called atomic radii or atomic radius. Okay. Second property, which is belonging to electronic configuration of the element, is called ionization potential. Ionization potential are also called ionization enthalpy. Okay. Next property which you have to study is called, that is electron gain enthalpy, also called electron affinity. This property is also called electron affinity. Similarly, this can be shortly written as ionization potential, IP, or sometime that is electron, that is ionization enthalpy, IP, and this is electron gain enthalpy, also known as electron affinity, represented as EA. Next property which you have to study under this section is known as electronegativity. Electronegativity. Alright. And last property which we have to study in this section is a very important point, valency. So these are the properties which you have to study here in detail. Alright. So first of all, what we have to study in this? What are the definitions of the properties? How they varies in periodic table, in moving down the groups and in moving across the periods. So these points we have to mention one by one. So let's start with atomic radius of an element. So atomic radii or atomic radius of an element can be easily defined as the distance between the center of the nucleus to the outermost shell of an electron is called atomic radius. It is generally measured in picometer pm. Okay, and definition is, suppose this is an atom and you are knowing that the shape of the atom is spherical. So suppose this is an atom and this is suppose the nucleus of this atom. This is suppose representing nucleus. So according to definition, the distance between the center of the nucleus to the outermost electron is called atomic radius. Is called atomic radius, shortly AR. So this one, this distance between the center of the nucleus to the outermost electron present in lost cell will determine the atomic radius of that very element. So this distance will be the represent the atomic radius, and that is generally measured in pm or picometer. Alright, but children, one more thing very crucial, that as we are knowing on the basis of previous knowledge that atom is a very tiny particle, so its determination of size or radius is too much difficult. But to determine the radius of the size of the atom is made some easier by using the basis which is known as on the bond nature. The basis are on the nature by which the atomic radius of the elements can be represented is based on their bond nature. So on the basis of bond nature, these atomic radius can be expressed in three forms, and namely called, first is called covalent radius or covalent radii. Second is called van der Waals. Van der Waals radius or van der Waals radii. And third and last is called metallic radius or metallic radii. Alright children? So what is metallic, what is van der, and what is covalent radii? Listen sincerely. Covalent radii can be determined by the molecules which are bonded together with a covalent bond. For example, I taking example as a formation of hydrogen molecule, and hydrogen molecule is formed by the combination of two hydrogen atoms and resulting the formation of one hydrogen molecule. Alright, so how the covalent radius of these two can be calculated? So listen sincerely. Suppose children, this is showing one hydrogen atom, this showing other hydrogen atom, and their nucleus is represented as such. Okay, this is nucleus and this is nucleus. This is other hydrogen atom, this one, and this is other hydrogen. Means two hydrogen atoms, both are similar. So their nucleus is represented as such. Alright, and according to definition, we are saying that the distance between the center of the nucleus to the outermost electron is atomic radii. So listen sincerely. This is center. This is center of nucleus. So the distance between the two. This is the atomic radius of this atom. This is the atomic radius of this atom. So this one, internuclear distance between these two. This is termed internuclear distance. So this distance between the two is called covalent radii. Alright? Point is clear? Once again I repeating. What is covalent radii? So this is formation of hydrogen molecule by the combination of two hydrogen atoms. Suppose one hydrogen atom is represented as such, other is represented as such. Their nucleus are this one. So their covalent radius can be found. Listen this point. The distance between the two nuclei, that is called internuclear distance, and half of these two will be termed as covalent radius. Half of these two means this, suppose the distance between two hydrogen nuclei is 74 pm. So covalent radius will be just half of this. So 74 means this distance will be. So covalent radius will be just 74 by 2 is 37 pm. This is the meaning. So once again listen the definition of covalent radius. Covalent radius is one half of the distance between the center of the nucleus to the two adjacent similar atoms present in a covalent bond. Listen sincerely. This covalent radius or covalent radii may be defined as the distance between the center of the nucleus to the two adjacent TWO, two adjacent similar atoms in a covalent bond is called covalent radii. But must remember, it is what the word is one half of the, means half. Internuclear distance half will be the covalent radius. And once again I defining covalent radii or covalent radius may be defined as one half of the distance between the center of the nucleus of the two adjacent similar atoms in a covalent bond is called covalent radii, and mathematically you can represent it. Covalent radii or covalent is equals to internuclear distance divided by half. This is the point by which you can calculate. Similarly, what is van der Waals radii? So on same basis you can define as the one half of the distance between the center of the nucleus to the adjacent atoms belonging to the same molecules of the same substance. Belonging to the molecules of the same substance is called van der Waals radius or van der Waals radii, and the value of van der Waals radii is too much higher in comparison to first one and third one. Similarly, the metallic radii or metallic radius can be defined as the one half of the distance between the center of the nucleus to the adjacent atoms of metallic bond or metallic crystal is called metallic radii, and order of atomic radii between these three can be given like H. The order of atomic radius between these three, first, second and third, can be given as, so first is van der Waals radii, then metallic radii, and then covalent radii. So from this order, it is very clear that the value of atomic radius of van der Waals radii is higher in comparison to metallic and covalent. So we can say that the atomic radius of covalent compound or covalent is least, while that of van der Waals is maximum, and the radius of metallic is intermediate between the two. So this is all about your three radii. Now you have to study what is ionic radii or what is ionic radius. So listen sincerely. What is ionic radius or ionic radii? As you are knowing that the removal of electron from a particular atom results the formation of cation. Similarly, the gain of electron from a particular is called a formation of anion. Means when electron is going to lose, cations are formed, and when electrons are gained, anions are formed. So how the radii of these cations and anions can be calculated, and what is the definition of ionic radii? So ionic radii can be defined as the distance between the center of the nucleus to the cations and anions. The distance, the effective distance between the center of the nucleus to the cations and anions is called ionic radii, and ionic radii of element is also measured in same unit, that is picometer. For example, suppose this is showing cation, this is showing anion, this is your cation, this is your anion, alright, and you are knowing that the size of cation is lesser or less in comparison to parent atom, and the size of anion is larger in comparison to their parent ion. That point I will discuss later, just after the completion of this point. So suppose this is representing cation, this is cation. Suppose this is representing anion, its nucleus is this one, its nucleus is this one. And according to definition, the effective distance between the center of the nucleus, to the cations and anions, is called ionic radii. Means this distance will be, so this one, this will be the radius of cation, this is the radius of cation, this one, and this will represent radius of anion. So distance between these two, this one, internuclear distance between these cations and anion, is called ionic radius. And you have to remember that in the case of cations, the size of the cations or radius of the cations is lesser than that of its parent atom, while the radius of anions is larger or greater than its parent ion. That point I will discuss in next lecture, and how it varies in periodic table, means from left to right going in periods and in the down the groups. How it varies I will explain in the next upcoming lecture. So that's all about periodic properties. Listen sincerely, listen and remember it. Alright, so that's all about. Thank you very much. Have a good day.